Hey everybody, and welcome to Physics 3301. It's differential equations for scientists and engineers. All right, so I thought I'd come on and give you a little bit of a orientation to our class. So we run everything off of Moodle. So to get in, you need to go to moodle.randolphcollege.edu and log in with your Randolph College credentials. You're getting this message that the announcement about this class through your Randolph College email, but you may have trouble getting into Moodle. And if you do, please call 434-947-8000 and ask for the IT help desk and they'll get you set up. Okay. So we run through Moodle. We also use WebAssign, and your book is an online text through WebAssign. And so let's just go through the page real quick to show you, this is our general course information. I'll have a link to this video right here. This is my contact information, and you can always text me for help. This is my cell phone number. It's the easiest way to get help is to text my cell phone and ask your question. Now, if you text my cell phone and we can't help you over text, we'll get on Zoom, etc. But please text. It's the best way. Emailing is a little slower. You can, of course, email me as well. All right. And then there's a Zoom link for any office hours, or if we text each other and turns out that I need to get on Zoom with you, this is the Zoom link, okay? All right, now here is when you click on this link, it's going to take you to WebAssign where the book is. There's a class key down here if this link doesn't work for you. Okay, so when I click on the link, it's going to take me to WebAssign. It's going to launch WebAssign for me. It actually is even going to log me in. So once you have an account, it'll be logging you in right now. This is this is the instructor, right, account. This is where your homeworks are going to be. Your tests will be on Moodle, but your homeworks will be here. And your book is also here. So if you look over here, it says ebook. And so when we click on the ebook, you'll be able to look at the text. And we follow the text quite closely. So every lecture is kind of based on a section of the text, etc. All right. So let's go back to our class. And if you have trouble getting into WebAssign, finding the course, the best thing to do is not email me because I have no control over WebAssign, is to call the WebAssign's customer service. They're super good. They're really great about figuring out students' problems with getting on to WebAssign. So call them and they'll help you figure out what's going on and why you can't get in. All right. So let's just take a look at the course. Now, there is an optional text, which is the Schaum's outline differential equations. These books are so great. They have them for every single math and physics and all kinds of things. And this is just an Amazon link. And you can get the ebook, right? Like Kindle edition or something, super cheap. And the best thing about it is that it has all of these problems that have full solutions, right? So when you're done with a section in the book and you're about to do the homework, I would recommend actually going, and I recommend which problems to do, going to this book, doing all the practice problems, right? It really is helpful to practice, just like in any, like practicing a musical instrument, right? Physics and math is all about practice. So I give you little assignments, right? They're not graded for this book for each of the different each of the different things that we will be, or subjects that we're doing. Now, there's also a calendar. It shows you when homeworks are due, when the tests are. There's 2 tests and a final. The final's cumulative. They're all multiple choice questions. They are open book and open notes. They are timed. So if you click on that test to see what it's like, it's going to start the timer and you have to finish, right? So don't open those things until you're ready to take that test, okay? All right. So let's just take a look at a typical week. So first, I kind of tell you a to-do list, right? So do WebAssign getting started by tomorrow, right? So by the 8th of July. And that's your first homework. It's just how do I use WebAssign? And then I tell you to watch the lecture and then maybe do chapter 1, sections 1.1 and 1.2, right? The homework. because the homeworks are for like all of chapter 1, right? But it's really useful to see a lecture on sections, let's say 1.1 and 1.2, and then go do the problems. I would actually take a little break and go do the Shams outline problems and then go do the homeworks, but it's up to you, right? Because the homework is due on the 11th, but you can do, some of it before, etc., right? All right, so I kind of give you a guideline here. You don't have to follow this exactly except for the deadlines on WebAssign. All right. And there's always a link to the WebAssign in the section, but you probably can just bookmark it. All right. So for instance, here is lecture 1 on sections 1.1 and 1.2. Recommended that you read the book, then look at the lecture, then do the extra problems, right? And then go do some of that homework, right? Etc. All right, and then move on. All right, so I tell you each, what everything is on, what every video is on. We have extra problems, etc. Yeah, and then we go on to week 2. Try to keep up with the weeks. I mean, you kind of have to because WebAssign has these really hard deadlines. So just keep up with everything. Okay, so let's scroll down to the time where we have our first test, and that is going to be here. See, right here it says finish that test by on chapters 1 through 4 by midnight on 7/28, right? So let's scroll down to the end. So you still have work to do that week, right? And then you have to take a test. Here is that test. It says there's a 3-hour time limit. Don't start it unless you're ready to go, right? Because that 3 hours will run out and then that's it, right? Okay, open book, open notes. Just don't look stuff up on the internet. Don't look the problem up on the internet and don't use another human, okay? You're just gonna hurt yourself if you do that. I know all of you are probably dedicated scientists and engineers, and you know that differential equations is really the language of all science and engineering, right? It's like, of course, calculus is part of this. So calculus is the base language, but this is, to do anything, you really need to understand differential equations. This is a big deal, all right? So make sure that you are not hurting yourself by not really learning this material. All right. And anyway, every week kind of looks like this. Of course, there's another test, right? The next week. This is a fast class, so do your best to keep up. All right, and then we just keep scrolling down until week 5 is our last week, right? This is a light week because you're studying for that final exam, which is down here, which is due on the last day of class, okay, by midnight. Now, the cool thing is here is that if you want a little extra credit, because these are all multiple choice tests, so I can't give you any points for those, right? Like extra points, like you might get on a regular test where you're writing out your solutions and someone says, oh, look, they made a small mistake here. That's why they got the wrong answer. I can't really give you those. But if you keep all of your work, right, for all of the tests, and then you scan it and upload it, I can give you some extra credit, right? Or not extra credit, but some partial credit for stuff that you got wrong on the tests. So I would make sure that you're keeping your notes, right, that your work as you're working through problems for the tests, and then uploading there at the end of the course. All right. Also the Shams outline work, I'll give you some extra credit for that, right? So if you keep track of all the Shams outline work you did, I'll give you extra credit. All right. Well, I hope this helps with the getting started in the class. And reach out to me if you have any issues. Make sure to call IT if you can't get into Moodle. Make sure to call WebAssign if you can't get into WebAssign, and get started. Okay, good luck.